we got our first look at Robert Pattinson as Batman. So I know we probably all have a lot to say about this, and we haven't. None of us have really talked too much about it. So Rick, what did you think of everything? Or do you want to go, John?
Amazing. It was just, I just had to get that out. It's like I'm about to blow up. It was amazing. So I'll let Rick go though.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I really liked it as well. So I was very surprised, and I just thought it looks awesome.
I was honestly more surprised. Like I wasn't surprised it was good. I figured it would be good. But I was more surprised that they actually had like a full trailer.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
Like-
it wasn't like a little teaser or anything.
Yeah, I figured if anything, and we said this before, like on the weeks leading up to this, like I was almost certain they were going to show something, but I was like, "There's no way they're going to have like a full trailer because
It's still in production.
Yeah, they still have. I mean, Matt Reeves said they've only shot like 25% of this movie, and like for them to be able to put together like that good of a trailer,
Seriously,
like
only 25%
for 25% of a movie. That was a damn good trailer for 25. Like I've only shot 25%. And that's the cool thing too. It wasn't just the I mean, it's kind of the fortunate thing with them shooting movies out of order, and they don't shoot them linearly, because if they did, we definitely wouldn't have a trailer. But they were at least shot enough scenes that they could kind of even form like a coherent story to some degree with what they did have. So I mean, I just kind of lent itself to it, because the first thing I thought when they played that, I was like, holy shit, this is a real trailer. And we'll get into this later, but like we didn't even get a full true trailer for Suicide Squad, and that movie's done with production. Like James Gunn's been editing that for months. They've been done with principal photography. They luckily finished before COVID hit. This got shut down 25% in. So I was really surprised. What did you guys think of for one, what did you think of him, like our first good look at him though, like in the suit, like in action, like what do you guys think?
Badass.
These are the best pictures I could get. Like
It's a little dark.
It's a dark movie, so they still didn't have a lot of like. I just took these
Like
screenshots
brightened
myself
photos,
straight
yeah.
from the movie in the highest resolution, or from the trailer in the highest res I could. But
I think he looks
yeah.
badass. Especially that scene where like he's got those like thugs in the alleyway and he just beats the shit out of that
was
one
good.
guy.
I mean, that was the best part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then he just has to punch him an extra couple times at the end just to like make sure.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Yeah.
It's the double tap.
Yeah, just like
Do you think though too? Because I think I told both you guys. I think I have a picture of him too. For one, this reminded me straight up of Batman Begins.
it does, yeah.
You remember the scene? There was just no bats in this one, but it was
Yeah.
like the exact same scene.
I think it looks
He's
better
coming
without the
up
bats.
instead of going down.
He's got the raccoon eyes, which
Yeah.
we were talking about. That's like,
That's a huge complaint for me in the other movies.
and it's a stupid thing, but like every time they take them, you see Batman, when you see him on close-ups, you can tell he's got the makeup on. But no matter if it's Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Michael, they all take the damn mask off, gone.
Yeah,
And
the
it's
paint's
quick
gone.
cut. Yeah. Ben Affleck comes in, sweating balls, jumps out of the car, takes the mask off, no makeup. Annoying. Like,
Yep.
but Rob
I don't know why
Pattinson-
that's always bothered me, but that's something that always stuck out to me. Like, makeup go
Well, because that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
a stupid thing, but it takes you out of the movie for a brief second.
for a brief second.
For
Yeah,
a brief second.
it's just like a continuity error.
Yeah, but they do it so that it just, I don't know.
So it just transitions to where it's like he doesn't have to
Yeah.
wipe it off.
I
Like,
get, but you can still
that's
have them take the
stupid.
mask off, have the eyeliner on,
just use
and
the
then
pad.
just the
Wipe
next scene is the next scene. Like he's already cleaned and showered the next scene. Like it's
Yeah.
just a stupid thing. Like so, I liked that he like Pattinson like
That
was
made me
rocking
like
that.
it like right off the bat. I was like, okay, all right.
And then and what do you guys think of the Bruce Wayne look though?
His hair.
There's a lot of people out there. I will say, I'm gonna grab another water. Quick, hold on. Aren't liking the look in the hair in particular. What do you guys think of it? His Bruce Wayne look.
It's definitely different.
I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's contemporary. I think
It is.
you look at really rich young people nowadays. They don't have a very conformist appearance. A lot of them. They have the money they can do what they want. People are still going to do business with them. So
Yeah, they can look
not
how they want
having
to
it
look.
be clean cut and whatever, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. This is year 2. So maybe because that's one thing that we got away from that, at least we got a lot more context for the movie. Like we for one got our first confirmation that this is separate, obviously during Fandome. This isn't going to be a Flashpoint paradox event that lets Ben Affleck not be Batman anymore. Like this is just its own thing, like the Dark Knight trilogy was. So we got that confirmation, which I like. And then we got like, you know, information. We didn't really get a time frame of like what year it is, but through just some of the scenes, like there were flat screen, you know, monitors in his bat cave, so it has to be modern.
We talked about that though. I mean, there's parts of the trailer that look like kind of older, old school, almost like a noir kind of look to it. But then, like when that car crashes in with the Riddler's guy in it, it's like a brand new SUV, you know. And it just, to me, it was kind of strange, but I'm sure it'll tie in better in the
that
movie.
is mainly just some post-production stuff, though. Like I think it could have just been color grading on it that made it just look a little bit.
It looks
like
very
shiny
dark
there, yeah. Because that's what I said. Like it's like 7 with Batman. You know what I mean? Like I'm just wondering if like Selina Kyle's head's going to meet a box at the end, you know, just to throw everybody for a loop. Yeah, like I doubt it'd be Selina Kyle's head, but like somebody's head in a box. And not to mention, we got our first look at the like Riddler and everything. What did you guys think of Waye and Catwoman too? What did you guys think of? Well, that's another thing too. I will say, Matt Reeves kept saying like, you know, this is new look at this and a new look at that, and it's a new take on this. Does that have you worried at all, or is it just kind of more of the same? Like everybody has to invent it in some way.
The Riddler was wearing like a snow mask with glasses over top of it. It's like an old army surplus style one, and I'm sure that's not like his final look or anything, but that was interesting.
Well, and I, not to jump too far back, but you know, all the build up to the trailer was perfect for me. Matt Reeves, I was talking with somebody today about this. I never thought anything would match the Christian Bale, Chris Nolan Batman movies for
that
me.
caliber.
For me, those were, that's it. Those movies are so good, and they're up on a shelf, and I just hold them on this pedestal.
All the Dark Knight Rises, right?
No, that's that might be the best one, depending on what day it is.
What?
I'm getting weird reactions. No, but when you heard Chris Nolan talk about those movies, Chris Nolan talks about those movies, the construction of those movies, and you can tell that he's a genius filmmaker. The way he thinks about story and the way he breaks down the way the movies are put together is just astounding, and I'm in awe of the way he does that. Listening to Matt Reeves talk about this movie was a completely different experience. Matt Reeves had a passion and enthusiasm for this story that I've never heard another filmmaker that's worked on a Batman movie talk like. I mean, it just came out of him that he cared about these characters. He thought about the way they all went together. He wanted to do, it felt like he wanted to do right by them all. And so that just set it up for me perfectly. I'm so excited just based off of that. And then the trailer just blew me away. So all that together has my hopes really high. But to get back to what we were talking about, the villains, he said this is kind of their origin story. So yeah, we're going to have villains that aren't completely fleshed out. They aren't the ultimate version that we know. And I'm really excited to take that journey and see that happen.
Do you think that's kind of like, because you kept saying new though, and it is mainly with the villains and everything, that I feel like to some degree that is a bit of retreading. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
As far as introducing like Joker wasn't really like a traditional Joker. Like, like Heath Ledger's, for instance, it was kind of like, to some degree, the rise and fall just in one movie of like the same thing. Like, we haven't really gotten like kind of like any Batman since almost the Keaton Batman that in the like Batman Returns, where because like Penguin was just kind of there. Like they showed his backstory, like through like flashbacks and stuff, but like Penguin was just Penguin from the start. And I feel like ever since then, like, and honestly, in like a lot of it, that's kind of the thing. And like Marvel does the same thing. So I mean, it's kind of I guess if it's not broke, don't fix. Like, ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's always like just by like a new version, in my opinion, isn't just like not giving them their costume. And that's kind of like what.
Yeah.
Not that I want, you know, the Riddler to be wearing a green suit with question marks on it.
I think people were actually mad that he wasn't, and I thought that was stupid.
No, yeah, that's idiotic. I think the Riddler being a much more grounded, because he was wearing a green coat. I mean,
he's just, to me, I get the vibe that he's like this, almost like a serial killer, but he's like a genius or something, you know? I don't know.
That's what it seems. It honestly reminded me of Zodiac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the tone of everything was more like Seven, but the Riddler himself was more like Zodiac Killer. Like that's kind of
It'd
the
be
vibe
more
I got
just like a
from it.
nickname for him almost because he does like riddles, obviously, with his
exactly.
little notes and stuff.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not saying like I don't want like a cartoony version of, like the Penguin or anything.
No,
I'm like the
God.
much more grounded like
You always
You
said
would
that he
never
should be
know.
like a mob boss.
exactly. Yeah, that's how he should be. That's because I mean that's pretty much what he is. And like the Arkham games did that very well. Like as far he was just like an underground mob boss, and like he even commented on like Penguin, for instance, which we were talking about this before. Like that makeup on Colin Farrell's insane. Like
I didn't know that was him when I first watched
you had to
it.
like double take just to even like realize it was him. But yeah, the Arkham games did it super well with just him being a mob boss, and that's what Matt Reeves was saying. This is he is just a like
His nickname
he's
is the
up
Penguin.
and coming crime lord, and they call him the Penguin, and he doesn't even like that kind of thing. And it looks like he has like scarring and stuff on his face in like areas. So I'm guessing like they're gonna have to tie that into being.
So he's not going to have penguin claws.
I don't think so. Like, that shit was so weird in that movie.
That was so weird.
Like that's the thing. A lot of people like didn't like that movie when it came out because it was like too dark. I just thought it was weird.
I thought it was goofy.
I didn't think it's dark at all. It's still like it's got the Tim Burton. Tim Burton had his own kind of dark.
Danny Elfman, Tim Burton,
yeah,
goofy,
like
quirky.
It's definitely when you switch over to the Joel Schumacher Batmans, it was definitely those were a lot lighter, I guess. But I never got like Christopher Nolan movies are much like darker in my opinion than like those
Gritty.
movies ever were. Like, but this does have a more. It has the same grounded vibe as like the Dark Knight stuff, but a lot like even more so. Like in my opinion, like it feels much more real. Like
look at the suit.
That's what the suit, the car, like everything. Even his Batcave. His Batcave just looks like a warehouse that like
just looks dirty.
Built. Well, it just looks like something that he himself would have built, not like Ben Affleck's Batcave, for instance, or even Christian Bale's Batcave.
Ben Affleck's Batcave was a little over the top.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't build that himself. He had a crew of people come in and build this secret underground bunker and shit.
What do you think we're building this for?
Well, he was a much more established Ben Batman for 20 years, so it makes sense that he would kind of have like a more flushed out cave like that. But like even Christian Bale's, where he just had like in the Dark Knight, they just had that weird ass like elevator thing go down, like just a big ass room. Like you had
in
to
the
have
shipping container.
yeah, and it's like you had to have some concrete layers come down there and electric. Like there's no way he did all that himself. Robert Pattinson, where he was at, it literally just looks like a shed warehouse thing that he bought and just threw up the lights and put a desk there with some monitors and like he's just on his way. He built the car. It was sitting right there next to everything. Didn't have some crazy platform that it comes up. It felt a lot more real to me than a lot of other ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, and then but these guys too with the goons. I said this
I don't
to
think
you
you're
guys.
right about this.
No. Do you think it's because it's like they got like Joker looking makeup, but like or do they have like is it like gonna be like a Sons of Batman kind of thing? Like he's gonna go and like he beats up the mob boss here, like the leader of the gang, right? To get them to all follow his order.
They look terrified.
You know what I mean? Because they could be doing something like that, so then he gets more eyes and ears on the street. Like that'd be kind of cool. That's something we haven't.
They haven't really done that. Yeah,
it would be. It feels. I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong on this. Feels early in his career for him to be drafting an army. If we're year 2 Batman.
But what if it makes sense? What if it makes sense in the story? Like
no,
he's like,
I'd be on board. I'd go along for that ride.
Well, my first initial thing was like, this looks like a Joker gang. Like, what the fuck they doing? Then there were rumors that Matt Reeves was casting a Joker to be in like the second and third installment, and he might be teased in this one in some capacity. All rumors, unsubstantiated. But then I got to thinking of the Sons of Batman idea, and then Matt Reeves commented on Penguin being this up and coming mob boss, and like if maybe Penguin is building an army, so like he goes and beats up this gang leader guy to force them into like helping him just take them down. Like he's not building an army, not like in the comics, and whatever. But he's like not gonna build the Sons of Batman army, but like they kind of put like a wink and a nod to it, and he gets these guys to like help him just with like this one task, and then maybe they could develop it further down the line. But like I think that would be a pretty cool thing, and it would make sense. Like in all honesty, like it's one thing that like they've never really touched on in the Batman movies, but they have in the comics, obviously. But it just from a fundamental level makes sense because Batman is one guy and he can't be everywhere. So if he beats up some of these smaller gang dudes, like these weirdos, you know what I mean? Like where I don't even where are they hanging out? Like under a bridge, like literally?
Yeah, it's just in like a rainy alley.
Yeah, like this is a perfect group of dudes for him to go beat up and then like just demand the rest of them to help him or I'll be back. Like,
yeah.
So you know,
do this to the rest of you fools.
Right.
So while you're speaking about him being one person, did you find it odd that we didn't get any shot of Alfred? And what do you think the chances are that Alfred's like an AI? Andy Serkis being a CGI maestro or whatever, and his voice being in the trailer but not getting an actual shot of him just gave me pause for a second. I was just like, interesting.
I never thought about that.
Well, I got one thing to say. They would never do that because of Iron Man.
Jarvis.
They wouldn't want to draw those comparisons to it. And Alfred's too much of a central character. They would maybe kill him off down the road and have him be an AI, maybe. But in this world, like I would not see an AI being a thing. What?
I mean, he could be like in a wheelchair or something, even, or like it could be just a totally different kind of.
I think, dude, them having Andy Serkis, I mean, you saw him as Ulysses Claw, dude. He could, if he wants to be a big, intimidating dude, he can be. And I think another thing we haven't seen on screen is a younger Alfred who, like, is in the comics and a lot of the animated stuff, they've had a younger Alfred who will kick some ass. You know what I mean? He was a former military man. I would think that's why you cast Andy Serkis, other than you being like really good friends with the director, because they are. But so he had a real easy in there. But I think the only reason that we didn't see Alfred was probably because, if I'm not mistaken, Andy Serkis was in the middle of filming something else. He was directing something while they had undergone when they started filming this. And I doubt he's going to be in the movie too much as it is, because
they just straight don't have footage. They just had him call in to do a little voice work for it.
That would be my guess.
Yeah,
that'd be my actual guess, because they probably didn't have footage to really the line that they had him do. Maybe he's not even facing Batman. Maybe he's like side cam when they actually say it. So they just didn't have it.
Right. Well, and I wasn't going to be placing any bets on that being the case. I just thought it was interesting that
if you are, I'll take the bet for sure. But yeah, nevertheless, I think it turned out pretty damn well.
Yeah.
All things considered, I was already looking forward to the Robert Pattinson Batman, but the trailer it did what a trailer is supposed to do and move me up even higher in my excitement level.
It definitely pulled me in.
We talked about this, Rob, the other day. Was like, to end this event, this was it was like the grand finale of a fireworks display. It was like everything throughout the day had been really, really good. And even if it had been bad, you end on this note and people are going to come back whatever you do next. Because this was just out of the ballpark.
Which is funny you say that, because that's like a lot of like criticism that like even Marvel movies have gotten. It's just like, maybe not Marvel movies, but just like you have a good third act, and that's what people leave thinking about. You know what I mean? Yep. You don't think about all the other like potentially plot holy stuff. You just think about that dope ass third act.
True.
So you leave on a high note, like, and that's I wouldn't. There's a lot of movies that actually do that. I'm not throwing Marvel on the bus, but I mean, just because this is a DC thing, I'm not going to throw Marvel on the bus, because obviously, if we had to place any bets on who's doing better right now in the movies, it's obviously Marvel's doing better in the movies right now. But
hopefully not for long, though.
Maybe not. Like, you never know. I mean, DC, it does have the only one that's been nominated. Well, not. I guess Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. It shouldn't have been, because it wasn't one of the best pictures, but Joker actually was one of the best movies of the year it was nominated, and it did win some Academy Awards, so got that going for it. I think it won 2 Oscars, best score and best lead actor. So it's the first comic book movie to do that, so that's pretty. They're winning on some level, we'll say. So do you guys got anything else on the Batman you want to talk about before we move on to the next one?
I'm good. I think we covered everything.
I'm super pumped for next year, but I'm also completely resigned to the fact that I'm not going to see this movie till 2022.
Well, it still said 2021.
I know it did, but man, I just, it's October 1st of next year. If COVID shuts them down one more time, or there's any sort of delay, there's no way they hit that date.
That is my fear too, with a lot of these things like going back into production. It's kind of like with like people wanting to reopen schools and everything. As soon as one person, like, unfortunately gets it, they're gonna have to shut everything down. Because especially like in a school or in a situation like this, they're all too close quarters to where more than likely one person came in contact with 50 in some capacity. Like maybe not hand-to-hand contact, but like they were in a room that 50 other people were in. So it all has to get shut down, because if 50 of your guys have to be quarantined, like that's a big deal. You know, so I do actually have a worry in the back of my mind about that, you know, it might get delayed even more. It could happen. Hopefully not, but again, too, they've only shot 25.
After this trailer, it's worth the wait, I think.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'll wait as long as I have to.
It's just like you said, end on the high note. Maybe it comes out December of 2021. Maybe they can somehow get it out so we end 2021 on a high note. Like,
we can only hope.
Maybe. But anyway, let's move on. Well, actually, guys, just let us know what you guys think too of the Batman stuff down in the comment section below, and then